You're gonna be behind us. We're gonna be sending a laptop with you.
Everybody must be late today.
I guess. But you know, it's you want to get yelled at it.
No.
Look crazy.
Oh, it's magnet. Okay.
Mhm.
It's a magnet.
Yeah.
Mm.
You believe on.
Oh, it's a clip and a magnet.
Huh?
What? It's both. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I see. Mm. Okay.
I might not be there, but
Magnet, magnet, magnet.
Linda is still.
Okay, turn music.
You saw me in the kitchen over there. Well, it's where right now stall. Oh, well, I like to like it. You have made the coffee. Thanks, Birch.
Oh, we gotta have the coffee now.
I'm gonna go.
Okay, bing a ding ding. Are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. Where's the clicker up here? Okay.
Yes, sing that Christmas music. I'm ready.
Yes. Cindy said, "Well, hey, it's Christmas in July, August, you know." Okay, early birds. Well, actually on timers, right? Welcome to KWT meeting. Woo! Yeah. See, we're two more gathered together. Am I right? Okay, we're going to browse through some little announcements here. Yes, silence your phone if it goes ring a ring a ring a. We're going to charge you some money. It goes for the children. Or you can just donate just because if you want to, if you love kids and care about those that are in need. What's happening at K-Dub? We've got Lead Gen with Cindy every morning, 9 a.m. If you're not there, you're missing out. Everybody that's consistent with their time on Lead Gen is getting appointments and getting the things done. We see it in office all the time. So also tomorrow, this is going to be virtual with Shannon at noon to 1. It's going over KW offerings for those that have been wanting to know what that is all about. It's offered through KW. It's cash offers. So she's going to go over all the different types of cash offers that come through, the differences and everything. She uses it quite a bit. So definitely tune in virtually. Tech prob. And we're back. Okay. So KW offerings tomorrow, virtual, noon, be there or be square. How to prep for a listing appointment. I've had a lot of meetings with some agents. Seems like listings are lots of appointments happening. And when you get to this step, if you do not know how to prep or properly prep for a listing appointment, documents and stuff you need, how to fill out, all of that good stuff, then this is the one for you. It's going to be in person and virtual this coming next Monday, August the 10th. So if you want to actually know how to prep for a listing appointment, definitely come in person or join online. 1 week from today, we're going to have next team meeting with Trudy. She is our compliance. So she's going to go over all of the common things she sees on the compliance side and, just the proper way to put all of that in there so you don't get kicked back over and over. So she's going to go over all of the common things that she sees. So that'll be next Tuesday. She'll have that. And she also has a compliant checklist that I'll print out for everybody that comes in and online. So that way you can just always constantly check that out so you can get paid and get all those documents in command. And then for next week, this is kind of an overview of what we've got going on in the office. On Wednesday, August the 12th, we're going to have a Q&A with PC and Tamika. She's top producer for those that don't know, if you're tuning in online. I can only imagine these two right here. They're like, I always love to hear what they have to say. They are very intelligent and very successful in the business. So you'll always take something away from that. So I'm excited for this. And then licensed law. If you need CE hours, I did double check. This is CE with the brokers. So the brokers are going to be doing this virtually next Thursday, August the 13th. But I did double check and it is CE. It's from 10 to 1. And those that haven't had their licensed law yet, definitely tune in on this.
Required CE course. So
Correct.
you can get it yearly, you have to get that same course somewhere else that you pay.
And ours is free. So we love that. And then towards the end of the month, as we all know, Mega Camp is coming up. We are actually going to have a watch party. We purchased the in-person watch party. So we're going to have both Tuesday and Wednesday sessions of the watch party. So we're going to be seeing Gary Keller and like all of the different sessions that they're going to have. That has some that go over social media. We're going to send out the specifics on this, but we're also going to have popcorn and the whole shebang since we're going to be doing a watch party. So just go ahead and put it on your calendar, and then you'll get a lot of emails surrounding this because it's going to be a pretty big event that Tuesday and Wednesday.
So it's an hour each day?
No, it is not. Well, one of the segment is, so this needs to be actually redone, updated. The agenda goes pretty much all day. It starts at around 8:30 is when they're going to have some of the speakers come up first, Gary Keller and a few things. The session actually starts at 9 until about 11:30 is the first segment that goes over a specific topic. And then they break for lunch, and then it's like 1:30 to about 4. Wednesday's day is cut shorter than Tuesday. Tuesday pretty much goes all day. Wednesday, it'll be up until about 2 p.m. Yeah, so that'll be a shorter day.
If I could point out, anybody that can't afford the $2,000 or so that it costs to go to these events, you need to time block and be here for that, because you will get more information from these conferences than you'll get in almost any other training that we give. It's really, really solid information. And the day that Gary talks, he's going to talk about what's going on in the market. It's probably the most requested information that the top agents ask for when they go to these events. Is you get some serious big picture what's going on, and you also get Gary's insights on what's happening in the market. And I don't know if y'all have paid attention, but he's pretty smart about stuff.
He's kind of a smart guy. Yeah, and we're paying for this, the KW is, so that way we can offer it for free to everybody. So that way it's a free thing. So you definitely got to show up for that, because it's going to be a pretty big event. Bring your laptops, notebooks, all the stuff to really get the notes in. But we'll also have some printouts that day as well. And ta-da, that's our announcements. Oh, he ain't here yet. Okay. But yeah, that's our announcements for this morning, because we're going to have up next after our lunch sponsor, we're going to have the CMA Workshop with Ken. So that's going to be workshop edition. So we got laptops and everything. So I love to see that. But yeah, our lunch sponsored is Jaco today. If you haven't used him, he's really, really great. He also really helps. I've worked with Luke personally before, and he always helps with if I need a roof inspected and to see if it's covered under insurance for the sellers. So I always have my seller, reach out to their insurance and see if roofing is under that, and he helps with that claim. So it's really, really nice. So I've gotten 2 sellers, I believe, that have been able to fight a claim with that. So I think we're ready to go ahead and dive on in and wait for Luke to come on. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So this is a workshop. So if you have your laptop, let's go ahead and get them out. Let's get them set up. If you need to go back and grab a laptop, feel free, because we're not going to get started with that part of it for a few minutes. Goes in here. You tell me when. Go in there. Okay.
Perfect. Just go into it. Yeah, just put it in.
You let me win. Let me know when. I have to stand on this.
Yeah.
Hey, Jaco, you're up, dude. Come on up. Do you have slides or no? You're good? Jaco, people. Oh,
I'm not going to take up too much of y'all's time. I know you're.
hold that for the online people.
Okay, cool. Just hold it or clip it or.
Let's,
Hold it up or flip it
I'll click
like
it.
that.
Hey, you. Okay. This is professional. Y'all are yeah, I won't take up too much y'all's time. I hope y'all having a good morning so far. Kind of just want to introduce myself, introduce our company, kind of explain what we do. So, our job is to help y'all. So we really want to make y'all a more of a go-to resource for anything that you guys need, whether it's on the buying side, on the listing side. So kind of what we do is we're primarily an exterior contractor. So we're a fully licensed insured GC. And so we do commercial and residential. With y'all, it's obviously more residential, and typically it's on the buyer side. So what we see most is, for instance, you got a client, find a house that they like, you put in an offer, inspection happens, we get the inspection report back, and then there's 80 things on there. So we pay attention mostly to the exterior. So my realtors will send me the inspection report. I'll review everything, and then I'll actually go out to the property and price out all of the repairs that need to be done, for, the client, make them comfortable, make sure that everything's good to go for them to move in. Most of the time it's minor stuff. In that case, the seller will usually just, pay out of pocket for that. We'll work with the realtor to get everything squared away. If they do need something more extreme, like a full roof replacement, then we have options that make that feasible for the seller. So we do have paid at closing options, which is a contract that I made about 2 years ago that we've been using. I'm sure y'all have seen paid at closing stuff before. It just allows for the seller to execute the work that needs to be done without having to cut a check for it up front, so they can pay out of the equity in the home. So that way the deal can move forward. We see those replacements honestly a lot more often now. After COVID, the insurance companies really got very tight on what they're willing to write full coverage for and what they're not. Really, anything 10 to 12 years old or older, they're asking for replacements to be done, or they'll cover it, but they're going to write for, a couple examples would be they'll write an exclusion for it, so they won't cover the roof at all. Or if they do cover the roof, they're going to write RPS or ACV policy for it, which is basically they're going to pay out a portion of what the roof is actually worth. So they're going to pay its current market value for the state that it's in, not the replacement value. So let's say it's a $20,000 roof, they're going to pay 10, and then they're of the 10 that they pay, they're going to take the deductible out of that. So you might have a $20,000 roof that somebody winds up getting $5,000 or $6,000 for. So that leaves a big gap there for the buyers, because they're concerned, hey, I've got a 15-year-old roof, I don't have proper coverage, and God forbid, they have a really bad hailstorm or windstorm, then they're going to be, stuck with a $14,000 out-of-pocket expense. So obviously, in the past month, I've seen 3 or 4 deals fall through as a result of the roof. I was just looking at one in Alabama 2 days ago that it was that exact situation. The seller was unwilling to replace it, and so the deal fell through because the buyers were not comfortable, taking on that much of a risk. A couple things that we can offer for you guys is we do free inspections and estimates. So I won't charge y'all to go out, look at a property. The only time we do charge is if we're just doing a roof report for negotiating purposes. So if they're actually not interested in doing anything and they want a full comprehensive written report with photos and Georgia building code and all that kind of stuff, I will do that. It's a flat fee of $250. It doesn't matter if the roof is a 12 square roof or a 50 square roof. That is just what we charge to go out, take care of everything, and send it over to y'all. That $250, if it's being used for negotiating and then it winds up that we do the repair, we will apply that $250 into the repair that's being done so that they're not paying twice for it. For you guys, we do offer referrals, which most roofers do. So it's not something that we charge extra to the buyer for or the seller for. It's something that we buy these cards at the beginning of the year, and then when we run through them, we just buy more. So we buy $250 ones and $500 ones. It just depends on the size of the job. If we do a big roof replacement, we'll give you guys a $500 one. If we do a smaller roof replacement, we'll give you guys a $250 one. It's just incentive, obviously we're all in this to make money. You guys, that's why y'all are out here, selling homes or buying homes, is to make money. So we want to encourage y'all to call us out. I've got a bunch of cards there at the back. I could go on and on about this stuff. I know roofing's not the most exciting thing to talk about. But I would love to get more acquainted with y'all individually. And so I can, get on a call with y'all one-on-one and just kind of meet all of you and talk with you about what we do and who we are and answer any questions that you guys might have for us, things that you're running into. This is new. A lot of, realtors have a roofer. A lot of realtors don't. This is something that a field that I've become very, very interested in. Different guys in our company kind of focus on different things. Me and my business partner, Will, this is what we do. Like the real estate stuff is what we're really heavy into. He is the go-to connect for Joe Stockdale. I'm sure y'all know them. He kind of does their stuff, and I do a lot of the Keller Williams for here and then Eatonton. And then we've got a couple more locations that some of our other guys focus on. I go all over. So I live in Atlanta. My house is there, and I go anywhere from McDonough all the way up to North Georgia. So our home office is actually here in Covington off the Access Road, but we do have a satellite location we opened in Chattanooga. And so I kind of service all over the place. So if you guys have something that you need looked at, you just let me know. And if I cannot, we can get out there quickly. I mean, if you guys call me after lunch, and I can typically be out there the next day to look at whatever you guys need, or day of, just depending on where it is. And if I can't get out there, I can have somebody out there to go check it out for you guys. Do you have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
So I don't know, mostly for roofing,
Mhm.
but I know that y'all kind of changed your contracting.
Yeah, sure. So we did everything. So roofing, gutters, siding, windows, decks. Well, interior, we will do some minor stuff like this much. We paint the inside of their house. Cool. We can do that. If somebody wants to remodel their house or kitchen, yes, we'll run into that stuff. So if you do, we have some connections. We can send y'all. But we try to stay outside as much as we can. To me, it's far more objective. We know exactly what we're in here to do versus you get into interiors. So that's the exterior, definitely. Decks is a big thing. I've been doing a lot of like decks, screening porches, stuff like that here lately. So still, if we sell, a job like that, you're still going to get a referral. It doesn't matter what we do. We'll pay you guys for it. But yeah, we kind of do pretty much everything. If it's outside, we do it. So yeah. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions at all for me on roofing, insurance, what we're seeing out there, what you're seeing out there? Anything at all? Good. Cool. Well, thank you guys for having me. Thank you. Thank you. It was a blessing meeting y'all. And yeah, if y'all ever need anything, like I said, y'all have cards. So give me a call. I'd love to get coffee with you guys sometime and chat a little bit more. Cool. All right, cool. Thank you. God bless. There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. You want to figure out? I'm here for my knowledge, not my okay.
Susan there.
When it comes up, right? I have this thing. Samsung.
He is making you
That one right there.
display.
Oh, enter code.
2705.
All right.
That's how we did this.
Start mirroring.
Mirror entire screen.
Okay, fellas. Good job. All right. That's it?
You need to join the Google Meet.
Oh, where's that at? In let's see.
Do you have it on yours?
Workshop. Google Meet. Join now.
Wow.
Allow or no? Don't allow.
No, actually.
Too late. I allowed it.
Join now.
Join now and then mute myself, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Share your screen.
Where at? Allow to share window? Allow to share screen. All right. Let me know.
Share the entire screen.
Didn't ask me to do anything. It just said share. Oh, share entire screen.
Click there.
Look here.
Uh-huh. We had this issue last time we did this.
We did.
And I remember, what did we press?
I don't know.
Mm,
Small,
right. No.
large.
Go back. Click cancel. Click it. I'll click it again. Let's try to just do a window. Okay, there you go.
All right.
Now you click where you need to click.
Share my screen anyway.
And just move that out of the way.
Uh-oh. Just close that down.
Because you're sharing your whole screen now. So you can just move that and then.
I don't know how to close it. Like that.
Yes, fine. And then just go into what you.
All right. It took us a while to get going, but we are there. I was prepared. I cleaned up my screen so it wouldn't be so crazy for y'all. Y'all got me working or no? Still no?
And sorry. So I have to tell you, we should put this online.
It says he's sharing, but we don't see that.
Can't even find it.
Is it not down there by your truck? Okay.
I'm up with the terminal repeat. How about that? It's just going forever now.
Yeah, that's fair too. Okay.
You need to close it down and stop it. Is anyone online watching this or no?
A lot of people wrong.
Future reference, if you're online watching this, it would be a whole lot more easy for everybody if you were here. It's hard to be involved in a classroom when you're not in the classroom, when we're hands-on. So even though you think it's cool and hey, I can sit in my coffee and not really pay attention to Ken, it makes it very difficult for you to get as much out of it as hopefully we will be able to. And I'm not very technologically proficient, so it's a lot better if I can see your smiling faces. In the meantime, let's get started let's get started with what we have, okay? How many of you guys remember what the first thing that we're supposed to cover is that we've got to get certain things. There was like a checklist of things. I pulled it up, but we can't see it. The first thing is you got to know the property, right? Does anyone remember what we talked about in terms of know what the baseline stuff you need to know about a property that you're going to do a CMA on? Quick, louder. Beds, bath, square footage. What else? Acreage. What else? Year built. Anything else? Location. Yeah, we'll figure that stuff out too. That's the gist of it, right? You kind of also have to know your market segments, right? Like, is this going to be kind of towards the bottom of the market or the middle of the market or the high end of the market? Why is that important, knowing which segment of the market it's in? Anybody remember? How big your search area has to be, right? The lower the price range, the tighter the search can be because there's more properties to find. As you go up in the market segment, like you get into the 500s and 600s, you may have to expand that out a little bit to be able to get the right thing. Oh yeah, it's pulled up. It looks great. He's working on the computer to try. Y'all are going to let him know when he's actually good. Okay, he's going to play and I'm going to talk. All right. So if you look at the sheet that I have for you now, somebody give me the first property. The address. 2816 Driftwood Court. Everybody needs to log into George MLS. We're going to do it in Connect MLS, right? The new one, not the old school way that I learned 15 years ago when we had hamsters that ran our computers, right? The little wheels doing this. So is it showing up or no? Going to be real hard for y'all to figure out what we're doing because I'm going to be on my computer in Georgia MLS showing you guys how to do it. It's not going to help you. So the first one I did, okay, first of all, where do you get the baseline information? Where do we start finding the information? Q Public. So I've saved y'all a step because I don't need to teach you how to use Q Public. Here's the Q Public for Driftwood. Do y'all see that? How's that look to y'all? We thinking that that's going to be bottom of the market, middle of the market, top of the market, based on what you're seeing. It's 1,900 square feet. It's built in 2003 slab home. Do we have a lot of those in Conyers? Whole bunch. Yeah, and it's a small house, right? That's a 35, 40 footer, right? It's basically 20-foot garage width and a door. So that's a 30-foot house. That is a smaller product. So when this was built, was this entry level, middle of the market, or top of the market? Top of the market? It was bottom. It was bottom. For new construction, this is entry level housing. Okay. How do we know? What was the price when it was built? This thing sold in 2003 for $134,900. That's pretty low. Okay. But the most recent sale was in 2020 for $186,000. Based on what we know, the market's gone up, but that's probably bottom third or middle third. We agree? Okay. So that gives us a starting spot, right? So I'm going to go in and log into my trusty Georgia. Oh boy, here we go. This is going to be fun. Let me do this. I'm going to close that down and we're going to cheat. We're going to open up a new screen. And I'm going to make it as big as I can make it. I hate it when it won't. Nope, it doesn't do that. All right. I just make it as big as I can make it. Okay. I'm going to go into Georgia MLS. I'm going to log in, secret password, go to Connect MLS. All right. And then I'm going to go into my search residential, right? Now I have my home set up a specific way so that when I do my stats that take me hours every month to do, it's already set up for my stats. I just roll through. Yes, ma'am. I don't know. Are you in the wrong one? Are you in Georgia MLS or are you in FMLS? I hit the Connect MLS button. Okay. Yeah, she's going to help out. If someone has a question, throw your hand up and Shannon will help. Okay. So this is my baseline start screen. It's got postal code. It's got address. It's got high school, year built, finished square foot, county. It's preset to Newton. I've got off-market date as a field because I have saved mine to have off-market date. Most of you guys probably don't have that. Most of you guys probably have what's at the bottom, which is going to be close date, right? Close date is a field. I've got days on market, and then I have a proximity thing. So what we're going to do, let's everybody set your thing to Rockdale. Right?
Can you do us a favor?
And I've got sold pending offer. I'm going to change that because we're doing it the way I said. We're going to start with sold comps, right? We're looking at only sold. And how far back should we go? I think that's too long. I think you should probably go back 3 months. Would we agree that the market in the last 3 months is different from the market in February? All right. So I'm going to go back April, May, June. No, I'm going to go May, June, July. May 2026 to July 2026. So that gives me 3 months. Yes. Is everybody following along or am I moving too quick? It's okay if I'm moving too quick. You just let me know. We'll slow down.
Hi, online real
I'm
quick.
typing in May 1st until July 31st. So I have 3 complete months
Excuse me.
of sales.
Hi. Hello. Kenneth?
right?
Kenneth?
All right.
I don't think they can hear you.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Is that thing working? You don't have to have them look at me at all. They don't need to
No,
really look
yeah,
at me.
we
They can hear
can't. We
me.
need you. Yeah, thank you. To
Yes. Let's get the questions in the comments section and someone monitor comments online and y'all can throw your hand up and ask them, okay? Is everybody caught up to me so far? Because I move fast. I'll slow down. All right, what was the address we're looking at? 2816 Driftwood, right? And that says Conyers. I'm gonna hit it right there. Now, how far out do y'all think we should go? This is a collaborative thing. If I'm trying to search in the bottom to middle of the market, how far geographically should I go out to find comps? A mile and work out. So I'm going to start with a mile. There's 20 closings that match. Okay, do y'all see that?
I've got 37.
I don't know why.
I thought.
Did you put in Rockdale? You put in sold? You put in Georgia MLS? State of Georgia? Did you put in fixer, resale, and updated, remodeled? Well, let's take those off on mine and see if we match. I have 37. Okay, but do we want to compare a 20-year-old resale to brand new construction? So we need to put in property condition, fixer, resale, and updated, remodeled. We're looking to try and find the exact thing that we want to sell already sold to have the best comps, yes? At this stage. Because at this stage, what are we trying to do? Match ourselves. Okay, so I have 20. Do I need to put a price category on this thing or should I put a date category? I knew you were going to move in close so you can see. I'm going to give everybody like 30 seconds to kind of catch up. I put under status, I just put sold. What's the best? How many do you have? Okay. Shannon's going to come around and see if she can find the discrepancy. Yes, ma'am. Ken's answer, Grandpa Ken's answer is, man, it's a shame you're not in class with us. Huh? Oh, okay. Understood. Lake agents. So does she have the screen that starts looking like this? So, because what I did is I went up to where it says the search bar. See where my cursor's blinking? And I did general search residential, and this screen pops up. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about what I'm trying to accomplish with this class. It's not for y'all to follow me along and figure out how to use the system. What I want you guys listening for is Ken's way of thinking is really weird and that was cool. And I'm going to write down what he said, why he did something. And then I can go into MLS and play around with it. I want you to, first of all, know what these tools are and how to use them as search criteria. That is pretty darn funny. I know at one time I was able to hook this computer up and share my screen, and I don't know why we can't, but it is what it is.
We need to add
You can do it from that. You just have to show.
What's the race?
Okay. Okay. So bottom line is I have 20 matches right now. Okay. At 20 matches in my 1 mile area, I'm going to hit results. And you're going to have stuff. If you look, I've got my display screen where I've got sold and list price. And my sold price goes from 465 down. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these listings up and we're going to say yes or no if we think this is like the one I showed y'all. Is this like the one we showed you? Is this like the one we showed you? Nope. Nope. Do what now? What about it? Hold on. I've got a question. Yes. Yes, but what, because I only have 20 houses that have closed within a mile, it is a lot. But I can look at a photo and know if it's like my house or not, right? So I'm telling you how I do it so that I get a better understanding, not just of the 3 I'm going to comp with, but exactly what I'm up against. Okay. So at this point, I'm showing some real nice houses that sold for a lot of money that are way better than the one I got, right? Yes, ma'am. You got a question. How did I have what sorted? Yes, what I did is I sorted by sold price high and I was going to work my way down. Okay. Because are we more likely that the seller thinks it's worth more than it is or less than it is? Yeah. All right. So let's just start over again. I already know that there are going to be homes in this group that are way more nicer than what I was looking at, right? A 30-year-old or 20-year-old starter home, right? Okay. That is a big old nice house on land. That is a big old nice basement house. Yes, sir.
When you cut off comps on this one?
Normally I do, but not this one because I'm within a mile. I got 20 homes. So I know that there's a small enough group that I can just go through the photos and see if I can narrow down my range, right? Okay. So that's not a comp. That thing's nice. Side entry garage. That's not a comp. Oh, wait a minute. What does that look like? That looks a lot like what we have. Yes. When was that built? Ooh, okay. We're going to use it as a comp because it looks like us, even though it's 20 years newer. Do you think that the market will value a 4-year-old home better than a 23-year-old home? So what would you say we can use this for? This is a ceiling on what you can possibly get. Even if your home is completely remodeled and redone inside, it's not going to be the same as something that's 3 years old. So this is my ceiling. I know my house has got to be worth less than 369. Let's keep going down. That looks nice. Not like me. Not like me. Updated, not like me. That's bigger than me. What is that? That's 2,400 square feet. How big was I? 1965. Do I need to pull that up and show it to you? Yeah, my square footage is 1945, right? I'll keep that up. This one is 2,500 square foot, built in the same time range, but it's brick. So is this nicer than mine? Yes. That one's different. That one's 2,100 square foot, built in 86. That may or may not be nicer than me, depending on what it looks like, because 86 is not going to look the same as 2003. Does this one kind of look like mine? Somewhat. It's a little bit bigger. It's 2,500 square feet, built in 2003. So I'm going to collect that one. Would we be better or worse than this, just off square footage? Where are we at in terms of where we think this house? Above or below 313? Okay. That one built in 2003, 2,100 square feet. It's a little bit bigger than us. It's a ranch, but it's 305. We're going to keep that one. That one doesn't look like us. That one sort of kind of looks like us. 2,200 square feet, built in 2001, 298. We're going to keep that one. Uh-huh. There's another one, Old Salem Township, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,200 square foot for 282. Are y'all kind of getting a feel for what we need to be looking at? Even though I didn't do my normal stuff, was like, how do we normally start a search for a home that's anywhere? Is there anything else in the neighborhood that's sold in that price range? But let's say you don't have that. can you use this photo way of finding where at least narrow down your search criteria? All right, so we got 5 more, but we're kind of at the bottom. Now we're at 282, right? What's the next one? That don't look like us. That's Old Salem Township. Is that the same neighborhood? Old Salem Township, is that the same? How do we know? Oh, look, Old Salem Township right there. Okay. So I went a long way around the world, but what did I find? When I close that down and I come up here to my show button, I can hit selected homes, right? Y'all see what I'm doing? I hit selected and I have 6 comps between 369.9 and 250. But what do we know about the 369 one? So is that, well, not only is it the top, but it's new. It's a different neighborhood and it's only 4 years old. So is that an actually good comp? So if I take that off, right, and I hit selected again, I have to go all and then selected. Boom, my range is going to be between 250 and 213, yes? Okay. Do y'all see how I bracketed the comps in the neighborhood that are like the house? Okay. I know. That's my point. Within a mile, in the last 3 months, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sales. So there is just about 2 sales a month in that community. So when I look at the stuff on square footage, my square footage was how big? So I've got 2,200, 2,200, 2,100, 2,400. So am I more likely to be the 313 and 2,400? No. Am I more likely to be 2,100 at 305? Possibly. 0 days on market. That's good. 298. But y'all get an idea of where I'm at. Somewhere between that like that 282 price sold for 282. That one's 2,200 square feet. Somewhere under 300 and above 250 is where I need to sit. Does that make sense? If I just did nothing but show them these 5 comps, would I have a good idea of the range of value? Do y'all see how y'all can do that with the lower parts of the market? You don't have to go all over the county to get numbers. All I did is went a mile around it. There were 20 homes sold. I pulled them up and in that group, I had 5 sold comps inside the exact same neighborhood. That's as easy as it gets. So now what's our steps in our process? What have we done? The first thing we did is we've assumed a baseline price assumption. We've researched and found at least 3 comparables. Yes. Validate. How do we do the validating? You have to research what? Under contract and available, right? So now let's do that. I'm going to get out of this. First of all, at this point, you're going to save these 5 because these are the comps. Now I'm going to redo a search. Is our online able to follow along at least? They're good? Oh, good. Okay, cool. All right. And my butt is ringing. Sorry, let me turn that off. It's like, man, I didn't need that. All right. So now what I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to look at my actives and I'm going to look at my under contracts. First of all, let's look at under contracts. Right now I have 6 under contract. Do I have any of them that's in our neighborhood? Oh, look, here's an Old Salem Township at 299. Let's take a look at that one. Does that look like us? Did everybody get the same thing when all I did was change it from sold to under contract on my search? Yeah, but there's one in Old Salem Township. So let's pull that one up. So for 299.9, we don't know if that's the sales price, do we? So can someone give me an idea of how you can validate what it's under contract for? So besides my daughter, who I've told how to do this? Do what now? Which one? You think the listing agent's going to tell you what they're under contract for? Who's more likely to tell you what it's under contract? Buyer's agent. Here's why a good listing agent would never tell you. What happens if they're in due diligence and it falls out And they just let you know, yeah, my seller just took 20 grand off. They're never going to tell you that. Call the buyer's agent and say, hey, I've got another listing coming up. Do you mind telling me what you're under contract for? Because I see the list price, but I don't know where you're really at. They may not tell you. If they got a good deal, are they more likely to tell you? Why? Agents like to brag, man. They like to brag. Dude, let me tell you, I got 35 grand off. Yeah, they're going to tell you. Yes. Right. So let's just assume for a second that this home sold for full price. But let's look at condition now. How's that condition?
It's been painted. Floors look like they've been redone.
What do we call this for starter homes? Move in ready. So if your comp is not move in ready, will it be worth this? No. All right. So do we have enough to validate that our price hasn't really moved a whole lot? It really hasn't, right? Because there's one under contract somewhere in that same range. Does that make sense? All right. So let me go back here real quick, because one thing we did not do, I want to do this part. I'm going to go back to our solds, and y'all don't have to follow me with this, because all I'm going to do is pull them up. And this time I'm going to sort them by neighborhood, so I got them all together. Here's the first Old Salem Township at 305. Now this one was too big, but let's take a look at it. I want to look at condition. That one's kind of, how would we say that's move-in ready? It ain't pretty, but it's empty and it's clean. Not even totally empty, but it's close. But it was also 2,500 square feet. So let's go to the next one. This one was listed at 313 or sold at 313. So it actually sold for a little bit more, even though it's a little smaller. But is this one move-in ready?
Yes.
There you go. And that one was 2,500 square feet as well. So that's big. But what was that other one at? That other one was 21. It did, but it was the 299 home that's under contract is only 2,200 square feet. It's smaller. All right, so let's look at the next one. That one is Old Salem Township, 335. But that don't really, I mean, it kind of looks like us, but that's nice. It's got brick. Look at that. I mean, that one's got furniture in it, but it's in good shape. But that's way bigger than what we have. Huh? Yeah. Now here's one at Old Salem Township. This one was the one at 298, right? 2,200 square foot, built a couple of years early. How does this one look? Is that move-in ready?
Yeah.
Is that kind of comport with the 299 that's under contract that's also move-in ready? Let's see if we can get one that's not move-in ready. Okay, here's one. This one was Old Salem Township, built in 04, similar square footage, 282. It was originally listed at 315. Does anyone want to make any kind of predictions of what the photos are going to look like? Probably not move-in ready. Do y'all see the discount? That was a $20,000 discount because it's not move-in ready. Would that be important to be able to show your person when you're telling them their comps? All right. So we've validated a few things in this, right? We've looked at a few things and we're able to intuit some things that you can share with the seller, right? The first thing is, do we know what move-in ready condition pricing in this neighborhood should be? It's really like 290 to 300. Your square foot's a little smaller, so maybe a little less than that, but it gives you a real good range, right? And it's pretty narrow range. If it's bigger square footage, it'll go for 315 to 325 if it's got brick and some other things. But if it looks like us, it's around 290 to 300. But if it's not move-in ready, what happens to your price? Almost a 10% drop in value because it's not move-in ready. Okay. The last thing that we want to do, and this is the positioning part, you want to validate this specifically with the availables, right? And I'm going to do a little something different here because we know. I'm going to come in now and I'm only going to look at Old Salem Township, right? I'm taking that off. I got 2 matches. And look at that. There are 2 active homes right now. So when we're talking competition, what competition are we having? This is what we're selling against. So if there's 2 people that are potentially going to buy this month in this neighborhood, we need to be number 1. Yes? All right. I've got one listed at 245 and one listed at 359. The first thing is the 245 is only 1,500 square feet. So that's super tiny small. I want to see that sucker because that looks bad. How does that for your photo? Didn't even cut the grass to take the photo. Dang. Anybody want to know why this is 250? How long has it been listed at that price? On the market 16 days at 250 and ain't sold. What is that telling you? Still too high. The problem with this listing is that at 250, the person that can afford 250 don't have the money to fix it. Right? Or else they'd be buying something better. So it's got to be at least some level of move-in ready to even get the buyer pool that you're going for. When it's that ugly, professional photography is not going to help you. It makes it worse. It makes it worse. Oh, look, I can see the size of the cockroach in this photo. Like, I don't want that level of HD, right? Yeah. Now, the other one was at 359. Do y'all have any hope at all that this house was worth 359 for what we know about this neighborhood? Let's take a look. Oh, look. It's 2,200 square feet, built in 06, and they think it's worth 360. Let's see if it's been completely remodeled, right? Not just updated. Someone tell me the difference between updated and remodeled.
It's like, they put paint in, maybe they've redone the countertops,
Move-in ready.
Move-in ready. Remodeled is up to date.
Yeah. Remodeled means that they've knocked walls down and they've updated the house, right? Like totally remodeled it. Updating could just be anything from countertops and things like that. And then what's basic, what's current maintenance? Carpet, paint, roof. Yeah, all that stuff. All right, let's take a look at photos. Only 16 photos. How y'all like that side? So tell me what's wrong with that photo.
The house isn't centered.
House ain't centered. It's vertical instead of horizontal. Uh-huh.
I can see the shadow.
From what we know about what moves here, is that even a $300,000 listing? Everything's upright. Photos are not good. You can see the dip in that $4 handrail that the builder put in 25 years ago. Y'all see that dip in there? Is someone writing this address down for when it expires and you want to go talk to this? I'm dead serious, man. Oh, I hope it's not one of ours. I'm afraid to look. I'm not going to look. I'm not going to call out no agents. Is that house going to sell for 359, even though it's only been on market 7 days? No. How many of you guys would be comfortable with what we've seen in this 30 minutes, taking the information you have, putting it in a nice piece of paper or just online like I just did, and going in there and giving that person an idea of what's happening in the market, why things are selling, why other things are not selling, and a good idea of what the home would sell for? How many of you guys feel confident you could do that with this listing package? Everybody? Anybody have a question on what I did and how I did it? It ain't here yet? Good. Food is delayed. We're going to go to number 2. Y'all ready for something that's a little more funky? Yeah, ask a question. Yes. Yes.
So then what do you allow yourself to feel okay and just have yourself to be patient?
Okay. All right. So when we're talking about being patient, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to look up. Hang on.
Instead of be patient.
What did we say the price was? 290 to 300 if it's in move-in ready, right? Or less if it's not. And I come into my Rockdale board, right? I got my Rockdale board here. Let's open this thing up so I can see it better. Hey, it's not gonna open up better. Let's do this. There you go. That's at this price point, right? If we price it correctly, should we be worried about it not selling quickly? Why? What's the month of supply at that price point? Now, that doesn't mean necessarily it's going to sell in a day, but if they're worried about timing, okay, because that's one of the things we need to know. So I'm going to ask someone play the victim. I'm sorry, the seller for me. Who wants to be my seller? Billy, thank you. So you're telling me that you're moving, blah, blah, blah. You've given me your reasons. How quickly, or what's more important to you? Selling quickly or getting the most money out of your home? Okay. So we know that homes that are listed in this price range will sell if they're in move-in ready condition. Fortunately, your home is in move-in ready condition. So we know that if we price it between 290 and 300, it's most likely that it will sell sometime in the next month or two. Okay. Are you comfortable with the price of 295 for that listing based on we've looked at what's going on? Okay. Yeah. Now seller says, I got to be out of here in 30 days. I got to be out of here in 30 days. So what we need to do is a different strategy. We know 290 to 300 is the price range. If we have to have it sold in a week so that you can close in 30 days, we're going to price it at 280 and we're going to get that advertising out there and the buyers will know it's a good deal. How do we know the buyers will know it's a good deal? What have they been doing for 4 hours every Friday night for 3 months? Okay. Good example. We put a listing in. We did this exact thing. Empty house, needed to be painted and updated. Not painted, but it needed updating, right? Based on what we told them, we said 310 to 315 is really where this house needs to go. The comps would have said it could have gone up to 320, right? But I wasn't happy with that because there were some homes sitting at 325. But there were also sales around it. This was in Gwinnett. We listed it at 310. We waited 3 weeks to list it so that he could get the screens, some of them which were torn, pulled off the windows. Because does the home have to have screens? If the screens are busted, what should you tell the seller to do? Take them off and put them in a closet in the garage somewhere. Just take them off. Okay. But we got it to where it was in move-in ready condition, vacant, clean, looked pretty good. He even fixed some siding, listed it at 310. We had 7 showings in 3 days, and we had a full price offer in less than 24 hours. Actually, 5,000 over full price offer. So that becomes a strategy. Your pricing is, this is where the market is. If time is a factor for you, then we drop. If I'm in a place where I'm sitting here and I've got 7.2 months of supply, you've got to be aggressive with your pricing regardless, or it may not sell at all. Question in the back.
I think what you helped me with is a really good example of like sellability versus.
Can people online hear you?
Can you hear me? Probably not.
If you're going to use an example instead of talking, you talk. Okay, there we go. We're going to add a mic so you guys can hear some.
And helped me with like 2 weeks ago was we are at 550 and I have a beautiful perfect comp at 550, right? The comps are telling me one thing. However, what's moving and shaking was kind of telling me another. So it was kind of based off of if they wanted to sell now, they'd have to be closer to like 500 because that's really where that property would sell at currently. Or the other strategy was, I can't predict the future market. We can just really present the numbers that's happened in the past, right? That the comps are there and we can, have a strategy of waiting for the potential things to move different ways. So that was a good example of like.
Yeah, the good example at 550, the months of supply on that was like 9 months of supply. So if you're 60 days into a listing and you've only had 2 showings, is that a problem with pricing or is that a problem with buyers? Buyers. There's not a, it could be pricing, but if your comps show that that should sell for that, or it can sell for that, but you're only getting 2 or 3 showings, and then you go up and say, well, how many homes have sold in my price range in the last 3 months? And it's like 2. Like, oh, so the 2 buyers that I saw represent the entire number of buyers that have been in the market in the last 3 months. So is that a pricing problem? No. But how do you overcome that? Because what this is telling me is that if it's not the right fit, I might not sell it. Or it may take 6 months to sell it. And a lot can happen in 6 months, yes? If rates go to 8%, what happens to the value of that listing? Gone, right? So what you've got to do, if you're comparable, but it's a slow moving market, you have to get down in price point so that your value is ridiculously stupid compared to what your comps are. So a 550 listing may have to go to 495 to make sure it sells. Does that make sense? And yes, because when you drop down to 495, now you're in the 450 to 500, and there's been 12 buyers in that price point in the last 3 months. And they were buying homes that looked like 495. Well, you have a 550 house now, 495. Are you the best one in that price point now? Most likely you are. And what you'll find, guys, is if you're not having those conversations with your sellers, the homes that are moving, you can see it over time in these graphs that I do. Sellers are capitulating, and the first guy to move in a declining market gets sold. The second guy chases his tail until he gives up. Does that make sense?
Showing the prices. And can you show me between 3 and 350?
Yeah, between 3 and 350 in Conyers, Rockdale. 300 from 300 to 325 is 4 months supply, and from 325 to 350 is 3.6 months supply. Okay. So is it reasonable that you should get a home under contract in 45 days? Yes. How do we know that? Because at every price point, it doesn't matter where, a third of them are priced right and look right. A third of them are priced right, but they got issues, and a third of them are too expensive. So if you got 3.8 months of supply, that means that those buyers, it should take you, if you're priced right and look right, it should take you a third of that to sell. So you should sell in the first 30 days. If you're not under contract in 30 days, this is homework, okay? Go in and do a sort based on your timeline and pull up all the sales in a price category, like from 300 to 350 or let's just do 300 to 325 in the last 3 months. And then pull up every one of those sold homes and look what the days on market was. You will find the vast majority of the ones that sell are on the market less than 25 days because they're priced right. And when a buyer finds one, they buy it, especially if you're in the green zones, right? Hey, it's good. We got to go. There's a lot of buyers out here. Got to go. Okay. So far, so good?
I haven't took a deep dive, like I said, but I will. But I know right near 2 streets over.
Yep.
Same house floor plan. She at 365.
And where are you at? You're at 330, but is it sold or is it just listed? Listed. Okay. Here's how I view listed homes in my market. Is it better than mine for less? If the answer is yes, I have a problem. If it's not better than mine and less, it just makes my house look better. So if that 365 looks like you, but you're at 335, that just makes your house look better. The real question is, when you get to that level of, gosh, I really need to find out more, do a search and say everything that went on under contract this week. What did buyers buy in my price range? And then you're like, well, we didn't win this one. Why not? Oh my God, that's why. Look at this thing. It looks brand new. It's vacant. This has been fixed up. Everything's perfect. You see what I'm saying? The deeper you go into this information, the more your brain starts to think like, of course that makes sense. No wonder it didn't sell this weekend. Look at what they bought for the same price, right?
In other words, I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
Yes, I can do it this way, but even when I price it at 335, if I was to take that 335, like you said, see what's sold and then compare, I think that would help me too.
100%. Because if you see okay, think about what it means. Sold homes tells you what about the market? It tells you where the market was. Under contract tells you where the market is. That's why it's important for you to call those buyer agents and say, what did you actually offer on that house? Because that's more real than the list price. List price tells you where the market's gonna go or is going, but only for the buyers that are buying this week, because that's what they have to pick from. So only you view the available homes as, I have a store shelf and they can buy a Twinkie or they can buy a ding dong. I know that's old school for some of you guys. Y'all like, what in the world is a ding dong? Okay. But that's it. You what do? My package has got to be better. My pricing's got to be better. Everything's got to be better. And if I can put a display where I'm over here, that's better. But does it change the inherent value of the stuff? No. No one's going to say, "Oh man, I'm paying $6 for that Twinkie because look at the packaging on that thing," when they can go buy a hoagie for $4. They're just not going to do that. That make sense? All right. Somebody give me the second one. We're going to go ahead and run to that one because lunch is a little bit later. Still lunch waiting. Okay. Somebody give me the address of the next one. Can anyone understand why I'm pulling this up? Where is that? Downtown Covington. Would you guys say that downtown Covington is a unique market area? People either want to be in it or not. Tell me why people want to be inside. What is the convenience of what? Walkability, food. There's a golf cart zone. It is a lifestyle, very, very hyper local market. Okay. So if someone wants to sell this, you've got a very small buyer pool and a very small seller pool. Is it more likely that you end up with buyers and sellers disagreeing on what things are worth when it's a hyper small zone? Oh, yeah. So I gave y'all this one because we need to think outside the box of how we do this comp. So what was the address again? 5118. All right. And I'm going to go out. How far should we go out on this one, folks? Well, how big is this zone? Somebody talk to me. Who knows Covington?
Half a mile, you go on the other side of the highway.
Okay. So I lived right around the corner from this listing. All right. This is an expired listing. It was listed at 720 something, and then it was listed at 650, and now it's off market. That's why I pulled it up. Okay. I can tell you that if you're talking Covington, you can pretty much draw a north-south line at Highway 36, right? And everything that's east of, which is the downtown square, everything east of the square, everything west of the square, not the same market. Okay. To the north, you have Highway 78. Anything north of Highway 78, is that Covington? Nope. To the east, you have the bypass. If it's east of the bypass, is that Covington? Nope. You have a hyper defined market. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this thing up and I'm going to show you what 2 miles out looks. Because normally when we're talking distances and it's a $600,000 house, are we likely to find a lot of comps within a mile of a $600,000 listing in Covington? No. But I want to show you the results, right? Because the results are going to show up on a map. Okay, maybe I should define that a little better. Let's go back and put some time limits on it. So I'm going to come in here and look at just solds. Now, since it's so expensive, I'm going to go out all the way to the first of the year just to see what's happening. And I have 71 that are within 2 miles of there. That doesn't not look right at all. There ain't no way there's 71 sales within 2 miles of Floyd Street.
You don't have any.
Well, and you also, within that, you've got Neely Farms and.
Okay, so let's do this. So let's get rid of the new construction. We know that our market's not below 450, right? We hope for a $600,000 listing. Ooh, what happened? Why am I repeating? I'm on mute. Did this thing?
Why did it change?
I don't know.
Hang on one second. Did that help? Okay. So now how many have I done? I went above 450 and what happened? All the sales went away. So now I've got 6 sales. Let's look at our map again. Out of those 6 sales, here's your bypass, or here is the downtown Highway 36, right? This right here is actually your zone. How many sales do we have? That one, let me do this for you guys real quick. I want to pull this up so y'all can see it. Hang on, y'all don't know what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like. Oh Lord, it looks like that. So let's go back. Let's go back. Is that us? No. How about this one? Well, first of all, that's outside the zone. That's not it. How about that one? Deering Street in Covington. That's old. I don't think it's tiny. When you get inside, that's why you got to get inside. It's kind of big. It grows on you, right? It's a drive under. Boy, they got 400 pictures of the outside. Anything of the inside? Okay. I mean, yeah, but what did it sell for? Oh, 450. Yikes. Do we have anything in that zone that remotely looks? Oh, here's one. This one's just around the corner, Conyer Street, half a mile away. Well, we don't know. Okay. That's nice. Yeah, but again, it's such a hyper market. The years matter less than location. So where's the location for that one? It's right there. It's less than a half mile to the square. I am here to tell you, in Covington, if you're half a mile to the square versus a mile to the square, worth more. Because you're more in the zone. You're more there. Half mile walk to square. Because I got news for you. Where he's at, way out here, that's where I live. It's a mile and a quarter walk. If you're going to go to dinner, it's sweat city to get to dinner. But if I'm 2 blocks from the square and it's all tree lined and I don't have, you know what I mean? Like, it makes a difference.
He's around that edge of where there's no longer sidewalks.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Is that enough comps to tell what's going on? No. It's like 3 total sales and only one of them is really comparable and it ain't even that comparable. So here's what I'm going to try and do. Let me ask y'all this question. Has the market been substantially different this year from last year? How about from the year before? We've kind of been like this since 23. I'm going to show now, this is hyper focus. We got to see what people have been paying because these things, there's not a lot of supply here, right? It's very high end, very small geographic area, hyper specific market. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to back this thing down all the way to 2024. But I'm also going to bring my mileage in to 1 mile instead of 2. And now when I map my results, am I inside that zone? That's everything that's moved in 2.5 years. How many do we have? Is that a lot? We pulled up 3 months in the Conyers listing and we had 20 listings within a mile. Now I got to go 2.5 years to get 34. But does this give me a better idea of what's selling for what? Okay. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to do you guys a quick favor before we finish this, right? No, I'm not. I'm going to just sort it and look. Someone tell me what y'all don't have it. I got to pull it back up for y'all. Not that one. This one. This home was actually torn down and rebuilt in 2020. I was there. They tore it all the way down to the subfloors and built a brand new house. Okay. So this is like a new house. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to put in a little sort on this thing to see if I can get a little more like it. And I'm going to come in here and say that my year built needs to be 2015. Do I have any matches? None. That sucks. 2000. I have 13 matches. Okay. Let's see if anything looks like what we're talking. First of all, let's go at the top of the price point. I'm at 825. Does that look like me? That might be 785, but it's 3,000 square feet. Actually, that is kind of close. But where is Monticello Street in relation? Like a block and a half from downtown? Dang. Let's see what it looks like inside. That looks like an old rebuilt home, don't it? I don't think that's 22,000. That looks like it's been remodeled, but that looks like an old house. Year built 2014. Motivated seller. They had it listed at 898 and sold it for 785 2 years ago. Okay, that's 2 years ago. It's a comp. I wouldn't say it's a great comp. Hide the map. Let's keep going. Next one. Nope. That's in Covington Place. Would we call Covington Place the same as this? Is Covington Place really inside the downtown historic area? No. That one's Covington Place, Covington Place. Oh, look, all the new stuff is in Covington Place. There's one in the Cloister. That's not too far away, but what's the price on it? Let's go back. This guy wants how much for the house? He wants 650. I've got 4 sales in 2.5 years above 650. Is he likely to get 650? Now, is it really hard to comp this? I had to go back 2.5 years to find a comp. Okay. I think this is more about educating the guy that 650 is crazy. Would y'all agree? I mean, it was listed at 650 and expired and didn't sell. Yes, ma'am.
It's already had it appraised, and the appraised value came back at something crazy like 720.
Well, we'll have that.
720.
Let's keep that in mind. Okay. Tidbit. That's a fact. I'm going to go off of this and I'm going to add in expired and withdrawn. And I'm going to change this from 450. I want to get it a little north of that. So let's just say 500, right? And I'm going to come and take this off of sold and I'm going to come up to my favorite category, off market. And I'm just going to see what's happened in this area this year. How many listings do I have? 12. When I hit that and I hit price, list price, what do y'all see? Expired. Now, fortunately for us, one of those expires and one of the withdrawns is our listing. So let's take a look and see what it actually looks like. I love expireds because you got photos, right? So, I mean, it's nice. That's nice. Does it look like a ranch built in 2020? Does it look like a ranch built in 2020? Has anyone seen a ranch built in 2020? Does this look like it? I mean, it's got the new stuff and, you know, this is the subject property. They're the same, basically. Okay, it's fine. I have it listed by 2, but that's fine. So let's look at what sold. Here's a 980 sale. Y'all have seen pictures. Do we think that it looks like that? That would be no. Here's another one. That's an expired one. That's the same expired one at 1.1 million. It sold for 980. That one expired. That's not going to help us. How about this one? Oh, there's one that sold. That's that Conyer Street house again, right? Which is much closer in. It's also got a pool. And it's literally, you can see it's a bigger square footage because that thing is 5,000 square foot for 740. Now, 740, 5,000 square foot with a pool, half a block, half a mile, less than half a mile, like a quarter mile from downtown. He's at 3,100 square foot, no pool, a mile from downtown, and he thinks it's worth 720. Can we pretty much eliminate 720 as a value for his house? Do we care what the appraiser said? No. Appraiser's going to do what? If he can't find the comps to justify it, what's he going to do? He's going to go out 5 miles and find them. Does 5 miles help you sell to the person that wants to live here? No. So let's keep going. I got to go all the way down to this to find the next sale. And it's at 525. And it looks like this. This is a friend of mine's house. It's been updated really nicely, right? It don't look that much different from his. Maybe a little bit older, a little dated in some spots. The layout's probably not as open, but it's been painted nice. It looks good. Shows well. It's got a basement, even if it's an old basement. It's also got a brick wall around it, and it's got a little party room in the backyard. So what did that one sell for? 510. 12 days. So was 510 a good price? Because it sold in 12 days in a market that nothing's selling for nothing. But look at some of these expireds. I've got all these expireds way up here. There's just no sales. So let's do this. I'm not liking this at all. It's not good. So I'm going to go back a year to 2025. Now I have 38. Do I have more sales? Can I find anything that's remotely like anything to tell me anytime in the last 18 months that that guy has a chance of selling his house? Maybe. So here's some stuff. Let's go in here. Let's start high. We're going to start at East Haven, right? Now let's start at Conyer Street. We know that one. That ain't it. How about that one? Does he look like that? How about that one? That's Covington Place. Can't really comp it. It's also 6,000 square foot. 625. Now there's one that's also on Floyd Street. That's pretty good. Okay, that looks nice. That's also historic. 12-foot ceilings in that sucker. This is Floyd Street. It's the same street. Okay. But it's also been, that is a remodeled, really updated historic home. Do you think that that has a certain pull to a certain type of person? Do you think that you would like that Coford ceiling in your kitchen? That's pretty nice, yes? How big is that one? Almost the same house, built in 1879. What did it sell for, people? That's his comp. Would you buy the historic home that's been refurbished like this for 625, or the one that was built by a contractor further out? Other thing we need to check is, where is it located? 625. Hello, can you say 2 blocks from town? I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pull the map up a little bit better. Let's hide the list. Let's get big, boys. Let's see how close we really are. We're shooting for that 625 right there. What is this right here running through? Someone tell me what that is. That is the Cricket Frog Trail. That thing is not just inside the city, it's inside the Frog Trail. That is a dominant historic located house. And it sold for what? Is his house worth that or less? All right. So now we have a ceiling again. We've lowered his ceiling to 625. Do y'all kind of see how I'm doing this a little bit different? Because I mean, how are you supposed to comp it? There ain't comps for this. All right. So if I'm at 625, 599, that's Covington Place. Here's one at 565. Let's see if we're getting closer. Oh, I think I know this one. That is a historic house built in the 30s.
Where did he get his number from? Just out the head or what?
Well, his appraiser says it's worth 720. That's the second appraiser. The first appraiser told him it was worth 630 or 640. Now, this thing is kind of, I mean, it's an older historical home. But here's the thing. This is my listing. I sold this one. We had it painted inside to make it look good. We updated it so it was move-in ready. But this thing is 2 blocks from the square. And it sold for 565. Okay. Almost a little over a year ago. And it's the same square footage, but it's historic. Arguably, his home is nicer because it's new, but it doesn't have the pool, and it's not 2 blocks from 15 dining places that everybody wants to eat at. Correct. So now here's one on Floyd Street again. Okay, this one is 2,700 square feet. It looks like this. Okay, what does that say? What is this in front of it right here, people? That would be the Cricket Frog Trail. So this thing,
Right. Yeah, people just walking by.
Yeah, I'd be like,
how is that one dolled up, guys? What does that scream to y'all? That's Airbnb. Okay. But it's 4 beds, 4.5 bath, 2,700 square feet, built in 1890, been refurbished for 555. Are we getting closer? Yeah. What else we got? Next one, sold 550. That's Indy Circle. That's around the corner. That's a really good sale around the corner from him. It's got a pool. He don't have a pool. This is not the same, right? This is probably built in the 60s. But look what they did to it, guys. Can you say modern?
like big mid-century model.
That's mid-century. What are you doing? We noticed I've been inactive. I'm active. Can you say completely?
60s.
That is a 60s mid-century modern redo. And how much does it sell for? With a pool, 550. But this tells you, is there a market above 550? We've seen 3 that are not exact, but comparable buyer profile. Maybe they want newer, maybe they want redone, maybe they want historic, but that 550 to 575 range, have we been able to kind of piece together what this comp group looks like? I mean, this is not my style, but man, there are people that love this stuff. Look at that. That's swanky. That is swine. Oh, look at that. No kidding. So if you had 550 to spend, would you buy it on a 3,100 square foot ranch that's the same distance from downtown, or would you buy that? I know what my wife would buy. She got mad when I didn't show her that in time because it was only on the market 10 days. What did I tell you about pricing it right? What happens? Gone. Is there anything else? Yeah. Okay, here we go. 8 days on market. Crestview is around the corner. This is right around the corner. What did it say? It's 537, right? Sold in 8 days. Nice big space. Been updated, right? It's, it's fine. It's cute. Not my style. It's a little bit going on there. No accounting for taste, right? But they've done some nice things with it, right? I'm trying to get to something. I mean, that's been tastefully redone if that's your style. Raise your hand if that's your style. Not my style. But somebody liked it, right? That's also a pretty good sized house. But these are updates. These are nice updates. Would we agree? Uh-oh, what is this? Uh-oh, what is that? It's a pool. So now I'm at 537 with the pool. Would we say that that's a comparable comp? For that area, I would say so. 530. Now this is Conyers Street. So it's going to be a little closer in. My wife and I walked this house. This is right across the street from Academy Springs Park. Y'all know where that is, right? Now that's been okay done, right? Now I can tell you when you get in there, this one shows its age, even though it looks good in photos. When you get inside, it's a little, you can tell it's an older house. And it's also 2,700 square feet at 530. So can we arguably say he's better than this? I think you can arguably say that. At that point, do I stop? I kind of have to stop. I'm not going to get the same kind of comp we did on that first one, right? Does that make sense? But do y'all see how the photos tell a much better story than stats and numbers and data on a spreadsheet? Look at the photos. And I went through this thing and I said, this is where I'm at. So if I'm advising this guy, somebody tell me where you would tell this guy price range from what you've seen. I think arguably 530 to 560. If he throws an absolute tantrum and says, I'm not listing it for a penny under 600, do you take the listing? Hold on. Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this question, because we can ask the seller. Shannon, you know a little bit about this home. Okay. So you're going to be my seller. So this was previously listed, yes? Tell me a little about the process. Did you have a lot of showings? Did you get feedback on them? No, but you had a lot of showings. What does that tell you guys? Is there a market for people that want to be in this area? You had showings. They didn't want it. But what we also know is they didn't buy anywhere else either. Because there's only 4 sales this year inside our zone, right? It's a lot of showings. You're too high, period. What did he pay for it? 6 years ago, he paid $450. He thinks it's $720. Come on. Your house is between $550 and $600. I think that's reasonable. If he says, I'll list it at $600, I take that listing all day long. But I tell him, if you can't get this thing, if you can't get good feedback that you're priced right and you're not getting showings at $600, then you need to drop it to $575, and then you need to drop it to $550. And if you're not willing to do that, you're going to have a hard time selling it. Would I still take the listing? Huh? I would go 45 days if he's getting showings at the 600. If he's at 600 and he's getting 1 to 2 showings a week, because is it reasonable to assume more than 1 to 2 showings at this price point? Not really. Ain't that many buyers that's paying this price point. If you can get 1 a week, you're getting 4 or 5 listings in the first month, and the feedback's like, it's nice, it's just not for us. We didn't like the backyard. Price is good. It's overpriced. Whatever the feedback is, I hold in there for about 45 days. After 45 days, the market is telling you you're not going to sell at that price. You bring it down 25 grand, go to 575. And then you call the 5 people that already say, hey, did you find something? Because we just dropped the price 575. Does that make sense? And then if you actually get an offer that's at 530, what do you do with it? You're listed at 600, they offer you 530, what do you do with it? Counter at what? I would counter at 565 and fight like heckola with all my comps and all the reasons why. Do your job. Make that case. Get them as high as you can. Show your value. That's what I would do with this listing. Was this helpful? Okay. The last one, we're not going to do a full thing, but I do want to pull it up. So I'm going to go back to here. This is more about understanding your market. Yes. Okay, this will take 5 minutes and we'll be done for the day. This one's easy. What is our address, Shannon?
It's 753 Highway 138.
What is it? 4753 Highway 138.
I like this that you put acres on, because I need that.
It's 8 acres. Shocking, right? So what we're going to do with this one, I'm going to just come right to the solds. And the entire point of this is to point out a danger with the way we do this. Okay. First of all, we got to go to Rockdale, right? Okay. Then we're going to change this back to 26 because how many 8-acre sales do you think there are? Not a lot. We're just going to go to sold. I will change it. Look at me. I went backwards. All right. I'm going to take everything off of this and I'm going to say, how many distance? Where's our address?
4753.
4753 Highway. Stockbridge. I'm going to go up 5 miles. I've got 33 matches. Okay. But I'm going to do something here. I'm going to change my acres to minimum 3. Because what's the difference between 3 acres of privacy and 8 acres of privacy? Five extra acres of privacy. Okay. So now I'm down to 9 sales this year in that price range. So I'm going to pull it up and look at the map. And I have comps, right? So here's the thing about that comp. I'm going to show you this. If you do this and take that off, what happens to it? To how many? That's a lot more. It's in Henry County. Do you think that people would value with 8 acres in Rockdale County versus 8 acres in Henry County? Yes or no? Not Shannon. You already have that listing. Yes or no? Would they view it differently? Why? Why? Taxes. Any other reason why? It's in the middle of nowhere. It's down Highway 138 between Stockbridge and Conyers. It's a Rockdale address with a Stockbridge address. Okay. That's unusual. Okay. Tell me why. Someone's saying taxes. That could be part of it. Taxes are not typically a defining factor for people. What are defining factors for where they live? Woodland High School in Henry County. I'm just going to do this for y'all so y'all can see it. Yeah, but we're talking, you could be a half mile away and be in a different county.
You could be 100 feet different and be in a different county. She's right on.
Great schools. Yeah, it's right on the line. I'm showing this specifically why you have to be careful. If you go to great schools, find a great school. Okay. We have Woodland High School. High School. Stockbridge. Stockbridge, Georgia, right? School by name, high school. Dutchtown. Mount Zion, Stockbridge High School, Eagles Landing High School, Creekside, North Henry, Eagles Landing. There's a whole lot of crap in schools. Where is Woodland? Should be the main one. Let's filter it by 4 miles. See the none results. Stockbridge High School. You know what? Let's go out more. Let's go out 10 miles. Because obviously that wasn't working. Filter. High School. Hmm? Right there. 4 out of 10. That doesn't seem great, does it? So what if I go Conyers?
you have not just added that field?
And let's go high school. Heritage, 3 out of 10. What's the perception of Henry County schools versus Rockdale County schools? They're perceived better. A lot of them are better, right? If you were in Ola School District, is that is substantially better? Yes. So if you're over the line and you're in Woodland High School versus Heritage, it may or may not make a difference. But here's the problem that you run into down there. If you comp Henry County schools or you comp Henry County comps, it's going to give you a false number. It can give you a false number of what the house is worth. Okay. When I actually did this search, because we went into the 30-minute detail of this, what we found is that the difference between a Henry County listing comparable and a Rockdale County listing comparable was anywhere from 50 to 100 grand difference. Yes. You got to make sure that you're staying centered around certain things. So when you get into rural, and this is for my lake folks, if you're still around, when you're getting into rural areas, you've got to expand your search out really wide, but you always have to factor in for that unknowable difference that distances create. For instance, as an example, if I'm in the Madison area and I'm south of Georgia 20, 5 miles south of Madison versus 5 miles north of Madison, what is 5 miles south of Madison? Crickets and banjo music. What moonshine? What is 5 miles north of Madison? 10 to 15 minutes closer to Athens. You are almost, and you might possibly be very, very close to North Oconee area or South Oconee area, Oconee County. Okay, that's up there. So your pricing can be very different based on what you're closer to, because 10-mile difference, if you're doing a 10-mile radius search, that's 20 miles. That's 25, 30 minutes in a car. So make sure that you're accounting for which direction it's going when you're doing rural searches. Do we have any questions? Because we got lunches ready for everybody. Was this helpful? Ask your question.
So you get a listing, houses on 5 acres, but they also bought 35 acres that's in the back of them.
Okay.
Separate and add up.
So you did what now? You got a listing.
Listing is the house plus 5 acres on that particular property.
Yes.
They want to sell land that's in the reader.
Yes.
Comps and find comps.
How many acres is the land behind them? Okay. So the problem you're going to run into is that lenders will not lend you money on a house if it's bigger than 5 acres. That's why it was carved out in the first place. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to price it independently. What is the house in 5 acres worth? Now what's 35 rando acres worth? And then you can combine them, or you can add them into a different sale, or you can list them separately and you can list them together. Typically when people are doing those out there bigger searches like that, you're going to want to list them separately. They say they want them to go together, and I understand that, but it's not practical. If you make it where you have to include the 35 acres, you're adding hundreds of thousands of dollars, hopefully, to the value of the listing, and you're making it infinitely more difficult for someone to buy where the actual value is, which is the house and the 5 acres. So you're making it more complicated, not less. You would be better off listing the land separately, right? Doing it that way. Okay. Yeah. No, that's it. Here's the other thing. Is it possible to carve out that 35 acres and make it something else? Don't know. I'll tell you where I saw someone do the best thing I've seen done in a while. There was 150 acre, I think it was 140 acres or so in Morgan County. Morgan County is very desirable and it's very rural, but you get a lot of the gentleman farms where they put $1 million homes on 5 acres or 10 acres or whatever, right? That's kind of the deal. So this was family land. Someone passed away. It's in probate, goes to whoever it's going to. What they did is they carved it in. You can only, when in that county, you can only split up like 5 parcels. Like if I have a big parcel, You can't cut them up into 5-acre parcels and have 20 of them. They don't let you do that. You can only cut it 5 times. Maybe it's 4, 6. Lake people, I just know this. I don't know. I don't work out there. So this is just what I understand ballpark. So what they did is they broke them into like a 24-acre parcel and a 25-acre parcel and a 17-acre parcel. And they maximized what they could split it into and sold the parcels off for like $10,000 an acre. So you're getting $170,000 for a 7-acre parcel, or maybe it was $20,000. I can't remember what it was. But the point is, if they tried to sell 110 acres, you're going to get $8,000 to $10,000 an acre. But if you break it into parcels, it becomes a homestead, and homestead have an inherent value because of the land input into the value of a house. What do I mean by that? If I have an acre on the side of the highway, then I can put a house on it. Yes. If I'm going to build a $600,000 house, how much value can the land be worth? Up to 120 grand. See what I'm saying? But if I take that same acre and put it in the middle of 99 other acres, what's it worth? $5. Realistically, 10 to 12 grand. So when you take 20 acres, that's worth 10,000 an acre or 20,000 an acre, and you can carve it into 4 5-acre parcels that are each worth $120,000. I doubled the value of the sellability of that land. Does that make sense? That's what builders do, right? I buy 90 acres and carve it into 75 lots and sell them for $105,000 a piece. Yes, ma'am.
Staying in Walton County, Hildeville,
Yes.
that's,
Yep.
but it's on 10 acres of farmstead, like farmland.
Yep.
How much is the acre?
The acreage is going to be determined by, or the usability of that acreage is how well it is to be split. So you need certain things to be able to carve it out and use it for something for like a house. The first thing you need is road frontage, right? So if you got 50 foot of frontage and 150 acres, it doesn't help you. Oh, yeah, we're good. I'm going to turn this off because we're done. I'm going to move this because it's gotten crazy. So I don't know if it's going to do whatever, but put y'all down there. Any other questions on this at all? Was this good information? Well, go get something to eat. So thanks for coming to the class. Thank you, online people. We're logged off, I guess. I'm logged off.
Because they say, length is same. I mean, I don't know, sir. Yeah, that's all right. They went to the house. We said the house is-
All right. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Appreciate you hanging in.
So,